No matter what a narcissist says or does, there are some things they will never be able to accept and acknowledge. Because if they were to accept these things, their false self will be annihilated and they will have to face the reality, which they do not want to do at any cost. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Today in this episode, we are going to talk about 4 truths a narcissist will never ever accept about themselves. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to learn about these dark truths, please make sure to subscribe before we begin if you haven't already, because as I always say, your subscription to the channel helps spread awareness about narcissistic abuse. Before we dive in, I have created a powerful guide for you that answers top 10 questions asked by every single survivor of narcissistic abuse. You will get liberating answers to these questions. Questions like, how do I know if I'm dealing with a narcissist? How do I know if I am a narcissist or not? And so on. You can get this guide for free. The link is in the description, or you can click the I button above to get it right now. Dark truth number 1. Nobody likes them. Yeah, they may fool people into thinking they are likable, they're charming, they're giving, they're kind, they're altruistic, they're fun to be around, but nobody actually likes them. Why so? Because nobody knows them. What most people, including you, have interacted with or interact with is a facade, is a mask that they put on to hide their true shame-ridden self. So they interact with a mirage, an illusion that does not exist. Once these people are removed from the situation, the narcissist reverts back to his old rotten self, which these people do not get to see, do not get to experience. So the original self is not liked by anybody. When some time passes and they start devaluing the person they had love bombed, this new person slowly starts to see their real self. Initially, this person may question their own sanity. They may question their own efforts. They may question their role played in the situation. But eventually, they catch up. They see them for who they are. And when that happens, they start tolerating them. What a narcissist will never ever stand is the fact that people tolerate their presence. People tolerate them in their lives. Nobody feels comfortable around that monstrous presence of theirs. Nobody wants to interact with them because they are completely based out of lies. Their foundation is missing and they just want everybody to enable those bunch of lies that only they believe in. As a child, I hated to be around my father because of who he is and how he treated us. And then he complained to people, I don't know what's happening with my children. Whenever I come home, they run away, they don't sit near, as if I am death incarnated, as if they see a monster in me. He never took a step back and asked himself, why is that happening? He then cried parental alienation. His wife was doing it and so on. She was a narcissist, but she was not the sole reason behind why it was happening. It was his cruel, monstrous, narcissistic, wild, animalistic, punitive, vindictive nature that made us to stay away from. Dark truth number 2. They are not as unique or as special as they like to think about themselves. Narcissists live in a delusional and a psychotic world where everything is placed and positioned to enable their narcissistic false self. Narcissistic false self is a major and the only defense mechanism they have to stay away from their reality, to escape their reality. This false self tells them, oh, they are better than everybody else, that it's okay for them to be entitled, to be exploitative, and to be manipulative, to take advantage of other people's weaknesses, and so on, because they justify things to themselves, which is what the narcissistic false self does, and put blame on others. But the truth is, like everybody else, they are ordinary. Like everybody else, they're mere mortals. They will have to survive human condition, meaning their health, their wealth, their supply is not going to serve them long term. They will face issues, their health will decline. Ultimately, old age will hit them, and there is no escaping that. What makes a human being unique, in my opinion, is the purpose they serve. And they do not have any purpose in their life. They jump from one person to the other trying to fool them. They take advantage of people's emotions and think they're wise. They are amazing, they're smart, but that doesn't make you smart. That makes you a trickster. That makes you a manipulator, a user and an abuser, and there is nothing special about that. That makes you evil. You're not unique. You are like everybody else. I know, being a narcissist, you will never, ever, ever accept that. Which brings us to dark truth number 3. They lose that strength, that beauty, and that mental capability they're so proud of. There are different types of narcissists, some of which are cerebral narcissists, somatic narcissists, and altruistic narcissists. Cerebral narcissists are those who live in their head, big-minded people. They work like computers, but quite in an evil way. Somatic narcissists live in their body. They use their beauty to get supply. They always want to stay young. Altruistic narcissists are those who give a lot of money to charity, who like to spend money on people. They're gift givers, and they think that is what makes them a good person. But none of this, none of what I described is a narcissist's real personality. It's a manifestation of their false self. It's a band-aid they have applied to a wound that needs a surgery. They may be as proud as they can be about these qualities, be it their mental capability or intelligence or their beauty or something else, but it's an illusion. It's temporary. It's going to go away. That physical strength they think will stay forever will go away. Primary example of that is my own grandfather. He was a psychopathic, malignant narcissist who thought he's going to be scary forever. He's going to be as strong as he was in his youth forever. But when old age hit him, it hit him bad. It left him bamboozled, and he would always ask questions like, where did my strength go? As crazy as this might sound, they act childish. They act like somebody stole that quality they were so proud of from them. And that's what makes them crankier. It gets really ugly with them. Then they try to revisit the memories, the things they used to do. For example, my grandfather would recall the times when he would scare people off through his monstrous psychopathic nature, his louder yelling and cursing, and he would then laugh. But time took all of that away. And that is what's going to eventually happen to every narcissist out there, whether it's evident or not, whether it looks like that or not. So it's not going to stay, but the narcissist will never ever accept that this is their destiny, this is their fate. They'll lose it all. Dark truth number 4, the most important one. A narcissist needs you more than you need them. They may act like they don't need anyone, they are self-sufficient, and they may make it seem like you depend on them. You cannot survive without their presence in your life. And you may believe in all of that because of your trauma bonding and cognitive dissonance. But believe me when I say this, a narcissist needs you more than you need them, which is why the intermittent reinforcement. People ask me, why does a narcissist behave differently intermittently? Meaning, why do they become nice here and there? Because they don't want to lose you. They want to keep you there. You are their primary source of supply. They can't survive without you. They may stay in denial as much as they would like to, but the truth is their existence without you is nothing. If all the sources of supply were to be taken away from a narcissist's life, they will fall apart like this. They won't be able to survive even for an hour. They'll hit a crisis. For them, having no one in their life is equal to having no life. is equal to having no personality or identity. They feel colors in their life through other people's presence, which is why they mirror and they copy people. They do not have a true identity of themselves, and everything is shaped and positioned according to what they learn from others, what they learn from the people they abuse. For these reasons, I think it would be right to say they are parasites. They need to latch onto a host to keep feeding on them. They're predators who need to hunt down their prey. But when it comes to you, you're not like them. Yes, you may be temporarily struggling with the trauma bonding and cognitive dissonance, but it's guaranteed that once you leave the relationship, you'll learn your lessons, you will know what you have been through, you will create strong boundaries, you will heal, recover, and you will move on to never fall for a crappy situationship like this ever again. But the narcissist is destined to repeat the same cycle again and again and again, and they can't escape it because they don't see what the problem is. The problem is them. The biggest truth about them is their entire life, their existence, whatever they have created around them, every aspect of their life is a lie. If a narcissist were to realize this, their whole world will fall apart. It will shatter into pieces, and that is like dying to them. They'll have to take birth one more time. It's rebirth for them because everything will have to be annihilated for such an individual. This is the deepest reason why you cannot waste time on a narcissist in waiting for them to change. It's never going to happen. That was the conclusion for today's episode. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know in the comments. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.